A few years ago I built these storage cabinets. They're 4 feet wide, 2 feet deep, 7 feet tall. The original purpose has changed, but now I'm using them for tool storage. Here I have a sander, benchtop sander, and a benchtop drill press. These work great for storage. The problem is I have a lot of vertical space that's lost. And frankly, it's dead space, and I want to be able to fix that. So today what I want to do is first tackle this wall back here for some router bit storage. For me, this is a true scrap wood build. I'm going to use square stock and create my router bit holders with these router bit storage inserts from Rockler. It's not really critical to know what these angles are. The important measurements are this measurement here and this measurement here. It just so happens that when I make these cuts, this material left over is 1.5 inches wide. This is 1/4 inch and 11/16, so I'm going to mark that out now. And I'm just going to connect the lines, strike the line, make a mark, and head over to my bandsaw. Of course, another way you could do this is to, if you've already made one, which I have, I made several, you can just set it on top of your piece and mark a line. I need to set the table to be whatever this angle is, and I want this piece, when it's cut, to fall away from the fence. So when I make this cut, I'm going to be cutting right on the line. The heart of my router bit holders are these guys from Rockler. The diameter of that is 5/8 of an inch, so I have a 5/8 inch Forstner bit here. The problem is that I can't safely hold the piece on the edge by my hand, so I'm going to use the offcut as a support to hold it in that position. And I can use the offcut, I made two, and I can use the other offcut. The offcut's there to make a little cradle to hold the flat, or to hold this face flat and perpendicular to the bit. Before I can drill any holes, I actually have to mark where I want them, and I have them so that I have 8 of these holders in a 12.5 inch block of wood. So it's 1 inch in from each edge and then 1.5 inches on center to the other ones. Because this is shop furniture, I don't have I'm not overly concerned how it looks, meaning I don't mind that there's going to be these pencil marks here, but I'm just now making a mark where I want the cut to be. As I mentioned before, this face is just about 1.5 inches, and I want the holes to be centered on that, so I will make a mark at 3/4 of an inch from this leading edge right here, and I will then use a scrap, an offcut, or the offcut of this particular piece, line up my marks, and strike a line. So it took me about 40 holes worth of drilling to realize that I should have used some tape to hold the holder in the cradle, as opposed to a clamp and my hands. That's an A&M education for you. I'll be using a French cleat system to hang my router bit holders. If you're unfamiliar with a French cleat system, it uses two opposing pieces of wood cut at an angle and gravity to its advantage. So I take the time to film myself getting my table saw ready to make the long rip for the French cleats. And of course, I forget to actually film myself making that cut. So to make it up for you, here's a fancy side-by-side. Okay, so now we have a little assembly. For whatever reason, I didn't think glue itself would be strong enough. So I grabbed a few pin nails and shot them into the wood. Now you should know that you don't want to shoot into the holder itself, so you want to shoot into the raw wood. And just double checking my work, good to go. One of these three is not like the other. Can you guess which one? I ended up putting the French cleat on the wrong face of the holder on the left. Oh well. Nothing a little hammer, chisel, and tape won't fix. Okay, fun part round one, trying to figure out where my router bit holders go. So I'd like to put them on this wall, and they are 12.5 inches wide. The opening here is just not quite big enough for me to really put them side by side next to each other. I don't think that would be visually pleasing anyway. Assuming I leave these guys where they are, I am limited to this space here. And it actually wouldn't be terribly bad if I just put them here. So now I get to bust out my trusty square here, line it up with the center of the hole, and draw a line. Okay, now we're on to fun part number two, actually filling up these with router bits. So, cue the time lapse. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. Now here are my router bits, all in their splendor and their glory. I'd like to thank you for stopping by the Lineroot Abode. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. I think I'm supposed to advocate some form of violence in the little bell in the corner. Don't worry about that. Bell lives matter too. Have a good one. Thanks and gig 'em.